Star Wars: The Clone Wars, my favorite Star Wars media of all time. It trumps the films, even the original trilogy for me. I love Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and I have just finished my rewatch of the entire series. So I am now going to, as you can probably expect, rank the entire series. So season one to season seven. So I'm going to get this straight out of the gate. My in seventh place is. Let me check my list. Season one. I don't know even why I check my list. Season one is definitely the worst. I do like parts of season one. I like the bits on. I like the first episode. I think the first episode is one of the strongest um, of the series. It's one of the strongest of season one. I think it's one of the strongest in the series as well. Um, the Ryloth arc is also very good. I like that a lot. The last episode's a little bit meh. And the finale with Cad Bane. Cad Bane is probably my favorite character. No, he's one of my favorite characters in the Clone Wars. He's not my favorite. That's a stupid. Yeah. Apart from that, there's not really too much going on here. Reanimation is also a little bit shit. It's still very robotic and it doesn't flow as much. Which I mean, it came in for 2008, so I'll slightly give it that. And Ahsoka's very very annoying in this when she's on screen. So that is it in number seven. Now number six is, I think this might be a little bit of a hot take. It's season three. I personally, I don't really remember a lot from season three. I'm going to be honest. I think the one thing going for season three is the Mortis arc, which is one of the best arcs in the Clone Wars. I love the Mortis arc. There's not really too much that is going on. I just really like the Mortis arc. That's really it. Actually, no. There's the Xylo Beast arc. That is, whoever knew. I never thought I wanted kaiju in Star Wars, but kaiju in Star Wars is pretty fucking good. But those are like the only two arcs I really enjoy from season three. It's not really much anything else. So that's it for me. And then number five, I'll just check my list on the side there, is season two. I really, really like season two. There's a couple of duds in there, but the second Battle of Geonosis, that's a great arc. Boba Fett's Revenge is also good. That's the finale arc. Kind of trying to think what else is there off the top of my head. There's another couple strong there's where I can't really remind myself of unless there's some bits on the back. Oh, Mandalore as well. The Mandalore arc is also very good. It introduces Mandalore in the series. Introduces Duchess Satine, Pre Vizsla. That comes into play a little bit more later on, as my dog can't decide where he wants to sit in my bedroom. And also starts off with Cad Bane. Season one finished with Cad Bane. Season two starts with Cad Bane. What more can you want? I like season two a lot. I prefer the episodes in season two, which is why I ranked it at number three. Now, number four. This is going to come as a shock to some people. Season seven. Look, the Siege of Mandalore arc. Yes, it is. It's my second favorite arc in the Clone Wars, but it can only carry season seven so far. All right. The Bad Batch arc is pretty decent for the most part, with it bringing back Echo and introducing the Bad Batch, which eventually got it's getting its run as is the season two is starting later this year. So yeah, the Mandalore arc is amazing. I don't really think I need to give any reasons why. It is a beautiful ending to the Clone Wars series, which should have happened in years ago. But unfortunately, when Disney bought Star Wars, they cancelled the Clone Wars, which is one of the worst things Disney ever did to Star Wars. The Ahsoka with Trace and with Ahsoka's arc with Trace and Rafe. I can't remember their names, but that is fucking boring. The only good bit is when when Bo-Katan comes in at the end of the last episode of that arc. There's nothing really else going on in this series. If they had just released the Siege of Mandalore, I would have been fine with that. I think everyone would have been fine with that. But there's just nothing else going on. I think they could have done something more. I think the Son of Dathomir arc, which was a comic book, I think that could have been an interesting arc to throw in there instead of the Ahsoka one. That's just the main problem I have with Season 7. The Ahsoka arc is just fucking terrible. I don't like it at all. I've watched it twice, which was when it came out, and in my rewatch, I have no desire to go back to it. I go back to Siege of Mandalore, I sometimes go back to The Bad Batch, don't really go to anything else in that series. But the Ahsoka arc, I just don't like it. I really don't like it. So that is why Season 7 is in number 4. And now, my top 3. My third favourite is Season 6. Now, the Jar Jar and Mace Windu two-parter is not very good. I do like bits of the Clovis arc because I like seeing Anakin punch people, which is pretty fun. The Clovis arc's pretty good because that picks up from, I think, Season 2 or 1. Because Clovis is an love interest for Padme. I kind of like that arc, but the best arcs and why this passes number 7 is because it's got two decent arcs. It's got two really, really good arcs, which is Yoda's arc, which is amazing and adds more lore to the Force and stuff like that, and it brings Darth Bane into canon, which is also very cool. And this is, if Star Wars, if the Clone Wars had ended here, would not have been too bad, but I think Season 5 has a better ending to the Clone Wars. And also, I think this season is also hindered by the fact that it got cancelled halfway through production. And I think that does hinder it a little bit. But the Order 66 arc, which is where Fives kind of discovers the whole plan of that Palpatine has and the chips that the clones have in their brains to execute Order 66, is an amazing arc. It's one of my favourites, and it beautifully ends Fives' storyline as well, in one of the most tragic ways possible. And and I love that arc. So the Cad Bane, not Cad Bane. Why do I keep saying Cad Bane? The Yoda arc and the Order 66 arc, one of my favorite. They're both, amazing arcs in Season 6, and that's why for me it's in my top 3. Now, these next two, this was very, very tough because these two seasons are some of the best. Contain some of the best Star Wars we've ever had. Brings back one of my favorite characters. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. I don't really need to mention who he is, but my second favorite season of the Clone Wars is Season 4. I was really, really tempted to put it at number 1 purely for the Umbara arc, because that is my favorite arc of the Clone Wars of all time. It trumps Siege of Mandalore for me. However, with Season 4, there's a few more duds in it than Season 5 for me. The Mon Calamari arc at the beginning, I actually quite like that. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's like underwater, but I think that's a breath. I do think that was a breath of fresh air because it's always used to space battles or air battles or ground battles in the Clone Wars. Now we get one underwater. I think it was a great change of pace. And the Umbara arc, I love the Umbara arc so much just because it is entirely focused on the clones, and that is the one thing I love about the Clone Wars is the clones, and it's just all about them, and it just gives all the clones have individual personalities, which D. Bradley Baker, fucking amazing voice actor, and how he's able to give each and every clone a personality trait, and it's amazing. It's the same thing with this arc because you have like Fives not wanting to like follow Ponquerel's orders, and Rex being conflicted and stuff like that, and the clones going back and forth between, is Ponquerel got a best interest at heart, which obviously he doesn't, but yeah. And say this for the very end of my discussion of season 4, this, one of the best things the Clone Wars ever did was bring back Darth Maul. Darth Maul, I will get into season 5 in a minute, because he's really, Darth Maul's incredible. It was a great introduction to it was a great reintroduction of Maul, and it is after the Night Sister arc, which I really, really like as well. I love Dathomir and the Night Sisters, and the massacre that happens at the hands of General Grievous is amazing, which also plays into Fallen Order, the video game, which is also pretty cool. See, yeah, just season 4, it's got a few little duds in it. Moving on to season 5 is my favorite season. The only dud I think of this, and I don't really think it's a dud, because I remember not really liking this when it came out, but after rewatching it, I actually quite liked it, and that was the D Squad arc. The introducing Gregor, that is the best episode, and that is the best episode of his arc. But I actually quite enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know what it was. I just I didn't really think I was going to enjoy it that much, but I quite enjoyed the D Squad arc. It's not the best arc in the world, but it's all right. The Onderon arc that kicks this season off, amazing. I don't know if there's anything else in here. Yeah, got the Onderon arc. What else is there? There's so much to love in this season. Death Watch and Darth Maul and his takeover of Mandalore, betraying Pre Vizsla. I haven't even mentioned like half of the lightsaber fights. The fight between Darth Maul, Savage Opress versus Darth Sidious is my favorite fight in the Clone Wars series. There's so much to love about this series. If this had ended, if we didn't get 6 and 7 and it ended with 5 with the Wrong Jedi arc, I think it would have been great as well. However, season 7 did end the series a lot better, and the Wrong Jedi arc is great. I love it. Takeover of Mandalore, I love it. Onderon, for what it is actually very good as well. There's just so much to love about season 5. There's so many good bits, like the death of Duchess Satine, and it's just so good. I love it. I love season 5 so much. A lot more than I expected would, because I thought I'd be putting season 4 at the top. But no, season 5 is my favourite season of the Clone Wars. So that is that. That is it. That is this ranking video done. Depending on how this video does, I will probably do a tier. I know there is one that does exist. A tier list of me ranking the Clone Wars arcs. I think that would be pretty cool. Go through them individually, and maybe a live stream of that. I don't know, but we shall see what happens with that. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. If you liked this video, please colour in that like button in the bottom left of your screen if you did like this video. If you liked this video, have a look at some of my other content that I do on this channel, and give me colour in that subscribe button that is grey. If you want to colour in the dislike button, that is also fine, because I have to go out of my way to see the dislikes anyway. So that is it for this video, guys, and until next time, I shall see you in the next video.